Hey everyone, welcome back to our second episode of How to Squadron Battle series. Today, we're taking a spin in the game's powerhouse, the Drake Buccaneer. Let's see what this bad boy can do. The Buccaneer is not just any ship, it's an interceptor class with a serious arsenal. Fast and packed with firepower, you can literally disengage at will and still deliver a ton of damage. However, it's got the turning speed of a boat, so your best bet is to hit hard and fast. Boom and zoom, friends. All right, we've got an MK2 in the mix. This guy thinks he's hot stuff, but guess what? He's flying solo, and our radar is like a party invite, showing 5 of us to just 1 of him. And no shields? It's like he's handing out free loot. Let's go press his panic button and have some fun with this. And he's dead. What he should have done the second his shields dropped was head straight for his buddies to stretch out the fight. As we swing back around, I spot a cluster of enemies. It's like they're having a little meeting, and we weren't invited. Our teams scattered around, and honestly, they've got the upper hand. But there's an arrow in the mix, so let's stir things up a bit. No one's watching us right now. We spoke too soon. Company's here. This is bad news, and our radar's like, I told you so. No boost left. Time to make a quick exit. You gotta know, the Buccaneer's not built for crowd control. It shines when picking off the wounded who are trying to bail. Who's our next unlucky soul? Oh, look, it's a Hornet. That's something you'll have to get used to. Luckily, he's in a tight spot, surrounded by 4 of my teammates, and he's totally focused on one of them. Time to apply some pressure. Okay, there's an arrow, switching targets. I'll leave my 3 mates handling the MK2. I'm just gonna lay some hurt on this guy and keep him out of that guaranteed scrap. 3 bandits are zeroing in on my buddy. I'm sticking with the arrow to keep the heat off him. Shouldn't be long before he's down. Down he goes. Another arrow? Sweet, a break from the MK2 monotony. Let's press hard. That's some good damage, and another one down. Another arrow? Man, it's like I hit the jackpot today. The Buccaneer's got a bit of a funny quirk. Its nose authority is like the worst in the business. Takes a bit of practice to get the hang of it, but hey, that's all part of the adventure, right? I lined up my shot, ready to deliver some serious damage, but guess what? Out of the last 20 shots, I literally landed only 2. It's like I'm playing tag with the stars out here. Come on, Buccaneer, don't let me down now. Nailed him. Now let's take a quick spin and check our 6. A quick glance at the radar, and oh baby, we're outnumbering them 2 to 1. Now that's my kind of party. This is exactly when I'd dive headfirst into the fray if I were in a Buccaneer. All right, time to shift gears. Next on our hit list is the arrow. Let's keep this chaos rolling. It's raining arrows today. You might have noticed they're pretty small and tricky to hit, but the good news? It doesn't take much to bring them down. The Hornet's all alone and my team's swarming around him. We'll just keep the pressure on. He should be going down pretty soon. Another one down. Got someone on my tail, and my boost gauge is nearly empty. If it were just a smaller, less threatening ship, I might stick around and slug it out. But it's a Hornet. Best move, disengage, let my boost recharge, and then dive back into the fray. There's a cluster of enemies huddled up over there, and I spot a Talon. Let me tell you, the Talon is the top dog among light fighters right now. It's super tanky compared to the others, and with the new flight model, those size 4 guns pack a serious punch. Plus, it's got great nose authority. Honestly, it's good at just about everything. Definitely your go-to light fighter. That's 4 enemies, too hot to keep chasing the Talon. I'll need to back off, play it safe, create some distance, and then loop back in. Sticking around in this mess is just asking for trouble. Better to pull out, regroup, and dive back in when things look a bit safer. The Buccaneer is an absolute beast when you're sneaking up on someone. Check this out. Arrows vanish with just a couple of shots. But hey, this ship isn't built for brawling. You can't dive into a swarm and hope to make a dent. No way. You've got to hang back, spot a distracted target, and bam! Blast them away with those massive guns. You really don't want to go head-to-head with a target, especially in MK2. It might seem tempting, but most of the time, you'll end up taking more hits than you dish out. I tried tangling with the Hornet, but all I did was scratch his paint while he gave me a nosebleed. Believe me, stick to the fringes of battles, sneak up on the distracted ones, and if things get too hot to handle, just boost away and regroup. That's your safest bet, mate. This stubborn Hornet just wouldn't give up on me. Lucky for me, I spotted 2 of my teammates nearby. Normally I'd steer clear even with a bunch of teammates around, but this time I thought, hey, I can take him. And guess what? I did manage to take him down, but now I'm all banged up, barely hanging on. Now I've got to play super cautiously, tiptoeing around, avoiding fights because one more hit, and I'm out. It really impacts the game, you know? When I'm running around on my last legs, it puts a ton of pressure on my team to carry the weight of the battle. Patience is a game changer in this flight model, so take a deep breath, assess the situation, and then react. My mama always tells me to count to 10 before saying anything, because most of the time, I blurt out nonsense. It's the same principle here. Don't just charge headlong towards every enemy you spot. Take a moment to strategize, figure out the best approach, and then execute it flawlessly. I'll own up to it. What I pulled back there was pretty goofy. No wingmates in sight, yet I barrel into an enemy swarm like I'm invincible. Hit the nav mode pronto to escape because I knew I was way out of my league. Total brain freeze moment. Ended up wasting everybody's time, mine included. But hey, here's the twist. Sometimes a dash of madness can pay off. In scrimmages where we're trailing, I'll deliberately lure foes into chasing me, making them believe I'm an easy takedown. Yeah, they nab me on occasion, but by pulling 3 of their best away, I create golden opportunities for my team to wreak havoc elsewhere. This flight model isn't just about fancy flying skills anymore. It's about unleashing creative tactics to gain an edge, and that's a blast in its own right. Still, we're all crossing our fingers for a flight model that's more about the art of flying itself in the future. Just gotta hang tight and hope for the best. The Anvil Arrow is like a glass cannon. It can't take a hit to save its life. You've got to keep your eyes peeled and stay sharp out there. Hey, I've actually done a deep dive on the Arrow. If you want to get into the pilot's mindset and dodge those hits like a pro, check out the video I've linked in the description below. Trust me, it will help. If you've made it this far in the video and are finding the content valuable, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and drop a comment. Your engagement not only helps the algorithm boost this content to players who are seeking these amazing, game-changing, ridiculously epic tips, but also lets me know if I should continue making this type of content for you. And do let me know in the comments below what ship you'd like me to fly next. I have a Hawk video coming up, but if there's another specific ship you'd like me to pilot terribly, I'm all ears. I do end up biting the dust once because I got tunnel vision on a single target, not realizing he had a few teammates backing him up. Ended up costing me my life. But hey, you live and learn from these mistakes. The key is to identify them and make a conscious effort to avoid repeating them. I'm in a bit of a pickle here. Literally red all over. The enemy's got double our points, and I'm out here trying to keep the pressure on without signing my own death warrant. Seriously, the team balance in this game could use some work. It feels like 90% of the matches end with one team just steamrolling the other. They really need to rethink how they're setting these teams up. Here comes my one and only death in this fight. Totally my fault, as I mentioned earlier. I got tunnel visioned on a target and completely ignored everything else around me. In the rest of the video, I do manage to snag one more kill, this time on a Talon. And again, thank you so much for sticking around till the end. It really does mean a lot to me. Here's a tip I always forget to mention. When it comes to power management in any ship, if you're dueling, keep your power to shields until they're gone. Then switch it up to either guns or engines. I like to constantly toggle between them once my shields are down. Now, if no one's gunning for you, running power to guns is a game changer since it almost doubles your capacitor size. But if you want to be nimble, throw that power to engines for a major boost in turn rate, like 20–30% faster. It makes a huge difference in those tight dogfights. Here's a quick recap on how to master the Buccaneer. Think of it as the kind of ship that chases down wounded ducks. Your best bet is to hover around the fringes of the battle, steering clear of the thick of the swarm. You can't exactly dictate how fights unfold. No standing your ground and slugging it out with others. It's similar to a muscle car, great in a straight sprint, but as soon as it's time to make sharp turns, you better hope you don't crash. So, keep your speed up, stay out of the main fray, and jump on those who aren't paying attention or are already damaged. With some of the highest DPS for a single-seater ship, if you catch someone trying to flee, they're pretty much toast. Thanks for watching, ladies. See you in the next episode of How to Squadron Battle. Monkey out.